The 22nd of October of 2025, once again, intercessors, I greet you and welcome you to the show. Let us continue to gather as we pray for the nation of Zimbabwe. Quite a lot that is happening in the nation that we continue to discuss as we are looking at the last days of Shigananda. We are seeing the end, the last kicks of a dying horse. Quite a lot still happening and yet to happen as we are fast approaching the new great Zimbabwe. Passion Java and Chivayo cross swords over the Mike Chimombe court judgment today. Very interesting how these people that are surrounding Emerson Mnangagwa don't see eye to eye themselves, and yet they are buddies with Mnangagwa. You see, very, very interesting. Mike Chimombe and and the company were in court today for their final judgment. And when people were talking about it and expecting to hear the verdict, in a story or a case that has taken over a year, I think it could be about a year or a year to 6 months or something like that. This has been very, very long, and it has dragged and dragged and dragged. We know the kind of court cases like the Chimombe issue. We know these are just political persecution that is happening when you cross the path with Mnangagwa or maybe Wicknell himself. You can get yourself in serious, serious trouble, and you go to prison without any trial. They will keep on rolling you over and over, and that's exactly what we know. They use the courts, they use the prisons to persecute those people that they want to punish. So, considering that this was a day that judgment was supposed to be handed over, we saw the two groups, beginning to speak out. Those that are on the side of Mnangagwa and those that are on the side of Mike Chimombe. And Java happens to have been a very good friend of Mike Chimombe for a long time. You remember the videos of them, viewing houses and showing off their properties, cars, and whatever. That has been the order of the day in their friendship. So Pastor Java is expecting that his friend might be coming out and they'll be reunited again. But it seems like Wicknell has a different idea altogether. Wicknell does not want, according to what he's writing, he does not want to see anyone of those guys being set free. And he speaks a certain language that is quite very interesting. Wicknell versus Passion Java ahead of the final judgment for the boys, Mike and Moses. Let's see how it goes. So Passion Java wrote and says, "Can't wait to see you later, my friend. God bless this day. # Boss Mike." And Wicknell commented here saying that changerai vaprofita venema panyika. So here we don't know whether he's saying that Pastor Java is a false prophet, or maybe he's talking about other vaprofita. Atizi kuti vaprofita vari kutaurwa apa ndijava here kana kuti kune vamwe vaprofita. But why specifically commenting here? It seems like this was just some discussion that were taking place on X. And he says, change raiva profita venema panyika izwi rakati varume vamedzwa nehwai varwa nedenga. Today is the judgment day. Today is not judgment day, it's conviction day. Just imagine. And he says 20 years dzakaprofitwa ndiri pamusoro pegomo. Johani akatumwa madzibaba, ini ndiri mukuru handitaure zvokunyepa. So you see the problem that we are seeing here. Wicknell is already giving a verdict of 20 years. Just imagine a verdict of 20 years. And these Ganandas, remember, are very powerful. They are very powerful, and they are controlling Mnangagwa, who controls the courts. And if Wicknell is going on social media and really writing a conviction of 20 years, really, this is not it. This is totally unacceptable and wrong. And these people, they just take other people's lives for granted. How can you want to waste away 20 years of somebody's life? And yet you and them are not different. Wicknell and Mike Chimombe and Moses are not different. They are all thieves. Simple. And for him to want to make himself the holier than thou, and want to show that he can dictate on how somebody can lose 20 years of their life in prison, it's really very, very very painful and sad. Surely he says it's not judgment day, it's conviction. Who tells him that who told him that these people are supposed to be convicted? Can you see that what we are talking about, that we no longer have a functional state in Zimbabwe? We have a Gananda run state, and whatever that they want is what happens. So this language of Wicknell is very dangerous, and we want to watch what is going to be happening to Vanamike Chimombe. You might not be surprised. 20 years, those not going to 20 years, and we know the fight that is here. These guys vakatanga expose exactly what is happening, and and so on, and they wanted to expose what the deal which happened to Zek, and that Zek deal was affecting Mnangagwa's throne. This is the real issue on the ground, and every other issue is just a big joke. There's nothing about it. So amen. I remember Java at one point, where he was mocking Wicknell and saying what and things like that. These guys are always fighting. Now the people that are surrounding Emerson Mnangagwa, they are all friends to him, but vertically, but horizontally, they are not friends at all. They are on each other's throat. In fact, that's how dictators survive. They survive by manipulation. They survive by divide and rule. They don't want you to be friends and to be together. They know that when you are united, you are too powerful. So they want you always divided so that they can continue to rule over you using the grudges and the fights that are happening right amongst you. So this is what it is, family. Very interesting, but we are going to be watching closely to what happens with the case of Vanamike Chimombe and see these 20 years kutaura dzisidzo here dzatichaanzwa sikangeli ndaba yavo Mike ukuthi aisoze inipere ikui 20 years zona lezi ezikhulunywa nguWicknell ngoba kungaphetha nge-20 years, and once singaboni 20 years lezi siyahle sibone ukuthi right ama-courts lawa definitely alalela izigananda and whatever the verdict is given by them, and which means that we are just in a banana republic. But of course, we know that they are controlling the courts, and let's see how this one goes. But otherwise, this is what it is. Very, very sad and pathetic that Gananda have taken the state into capture, serious capture, where nothing moves until they say. But we keep praying for our nation because we want a Zimbabwe that is by the people, for the people. And that Zimbabwe is the Zimbabwe that will prosper, that will also allow other people that are all over in exile in the diaspora be able to come back home and be with their families. But our God is faithful, and we know that the days of Skanandas are over. And let's keep believing God, and let's keep praying. The freedom for Zimbabwe is not far. It's just by the corner. Stand and pray. Freedom for Zimbabwe is coming. Thank you once again for joining me on the show. Let's meet in the upcoming show. Remain blessed and shalom.